Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a video describing my life and what I've sacrificed to make Taco function. Because I've truly given everything and I have been just really badly treated. So this is my room, right? So previously, February last year, I was having fugue states because I've been in fight or flight for around 2 years. And as a result, my nervous system just completely broke, and I found myself in places without knowing how I got there. At the same time, whilst I'd previously been doing my work, where I was in charge of people who were dangerous to themselves or others, and making these very complex decisions, I was being harassed constantly and quite excessively by members of Michael's community. Some worked for the Australian Signals Directorate, many of who were hackers, and my IT was constantly being fucked with whilst I was having to make these decisions. Whilst at the same time, unbeknownst to me, there was a Murray living in my house, and this caused all kinds of political drama. And she was tweeting about my life constantly on Instagram and all these things. So I had all these terrible things external which were put on me by this community whilst going through these problems. I then broke, because I work in the NDIS, which is a very corrupt system. I work with very corrupt people whilst trying to take care of very vulnerable people, and I'm very good at this. And I'm made for this. Now, and when you stop me, and when I'm stopped from being able to do this work, it means I'm not able to care for my participants, and that is a horrific thing to do to a person. It's like removing them from I wouldn't say necessarily their children, although some cases where there is a trauma bond, it's a bit like that. But from their responsibilities, I had clients who had cancerous cysts and they weren't being treated, and that's a horrific thing to be responsible for a person in that position not be able to do your job, and not being able to get back to doing my job, in part because they've been trying to force me into working with them, and I'm not going to do it because I know their character and they're not worthy. So there's that, and there's this, and ever since there's been this constant effort to try and make me squirt into their kind of work. And there's this lack of there's not this that you don't get to choose if you're part of the community or not. It's like being indigenous. Like, you'll have your cousins and all this, you're constantly wanting something from you. It's hard to get away from. It's the same thing with these people. So as a result, I live in this situation. I can't move up because I'm constantly having to worry about these things. The problems I'm facing are complex. So, for example, I get files such as my cover letter. It's been deleted from all of my computers, right? All of them, right? It's not showing up on anything. I had a similar IT issues when I was at a doctor's surgery, and files which were previously submitted to ARFA were deleted off their server. Before that, I had issues where I'd put the GPS to one location and find it going to another location, and all kinds of weird shit like this. And it creates, if you're constantly facing that, it creates a helplessness because you never know. I can't make decisions and I can't plan things. And at the same time, all my screens are monitored as a part of what I understand to be a court order. So if I want to type up a resume or a CV, so as a result of having to be infamous, and it's been processed, it's been a process to becoming this infamous. I've been through some very complex and strange situations. The information on my screens is transmitted constantly. It's like a constant stream as part of the court order. So I have this issue where I can't type up anything because it will be, if it involves personal information, well, that's going to be a leak. And because my career is based on working with people's personal stuff and writing case reports to sell myself to potential employers, I can't do that. The same with professional development, journaling, writing calendars. The amount I've had to sacrifice as a result of this project to make it work is incredible, right? Um, and additionally, all the theory behind it, right? Like that took years of study to be able to figure out. And whilst looking from the outside, you might look at it the same way, like, a graphic designer or an artist, who does a little bit of work and then they've got a $10,000 picture. Well, they had to do a lot to get to that, so that picture was worth $10,000. And that's what my project is. And at the end of this, I expect to eat the fruits of my labor. Um, I've done something truly incredible. I've done this while being abused by everything from my family to multiple government departments. I've been made completely alienated by this project, and I am definitely deserving of a massive financial reward at the end of this, because I'm 30 years old and my life hasn't started yet. Because I come from a background which, if you do the maths on it and you look into it, is actually quite a place of disadvantage. One of the biggest things I learned from running the share house I was previously learning, when I'd have all these medicine students come in, it was like, oh, okay, no, we're from different social castes. It's not even just social class, it's like there is a caste system in Australia. Like, you get to see that, like, the amount of barriers and the amount of the communities which I've grown up around, they keep me in a place, and they want to, and the people around me do not want me to succeed, because it interferes with their orientation in this space. Um, and I need to be allowed to succeed. I need to be able to apply myself and get rewards from my own application, because at the moment, like, I do not feel depressed, but I know that whatever actions I take, like, they are very unlikely to assist me or help me, because I'm being oppressed by a community of people, right? And I've got a lot of people who do not want good things to happen to me, and the amount of them who have worked to really make my life miserable is incredibly debilitating. Um, why do anything if you know that it's going to be dismantled by someone? I've laid flat. I need money to get up. Um, I've really been abused. A lot of people need to be charged for various forms of misconduct. I'm looking forward for them to do that. I'm looking forward to being able to start, like, what's happened here has been a psychological injury, a very significant one. Like this, when things happen to a person, it happens to their brain and it becomes part of them. It's a physical thing, right? It's like if I got punched in the head repeatedly and that caused brain damage, there wouldn't be so much of a problem here. It would be very easy for people to understand. What has happened is that I've been assaulted and I've now have brain damage. No, no, it could be called that. Like, I I have become something else. Like, my patterns are not as adaptive as they used to be. It's a result of this abuse and what I've been through. And I am I have earned I have earned my success here. Okay, I've fucking earned it.